put some fucking pants on and go outside and do some shit.
There's nothing to do.
There's nothing to do.
Girl, there is nothing to do.
The Sandhills wants to know what time it is. It's time to get ready for the unlimited social scoop. Introducing Nuthin To Do, the Sandhills Social Scene Podcast, straight from the Share Studios with your host, Dominique.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 4 of Nuthin To Do. It's your girl Dominique, and you know what? I want to send a quick shout out because I can't stop staring at myself in the monitor. The THA Cat's Pajamas happens to be one of my tattoo artists. Devin, we love you, and thank you for freaking out my mom with every tattoo that you put on me. But this episode, we're going to learn a couple of things. Collaboration and community over competition, and purpose for paper, which I'm pretty sure, again, I don't feel like that's what she was talking about, but that's what we're going to go with. Because, again, there's a lot to do within the community, and there's just people around here doing dope things. So we have a little segment towards the end called People Who Do. Who knew? Hang tight. It's Nuthin To Do, the podcast. Hi guys, it's Dominique with Nuthin To Do Podcast, and God, I can't believe we're on episode 4. But today, I know you guys are like, oh, everybody's dope in your life. That's because everybody is dope in the Sandhills, and especially Fayetteville 26. I have to represent because you know this is my city. We do have some dope people, and today I am sitting with the one and only Collyn, 2 L's, 1 Y. What's up?
Oh, what it do? What it do?
You know, I had to change your name in my phone for like the 80th time because I just keep forgetting that second L.
Oh yeah, I appreciate this. You acknowledge the why. You know, a lot of people don't even like. I know I spell my name different, but I mean.
You're an artist.
Yeah. I mean, well, my mom and dad artists too. So,
okay.
You know, so I think their art is a different form. My mom did cut hair for like 20 plus years. So and then my dad, he's like just hella creative and just a hustler. So I mean, I feel like that's an art in itself. So
I feel like you got a perfect blend of both of those. So we mentioned the art thing here. Bronco alumni, right?
Yeah. Also, go Broncos.
Go
you know,
Broncos.
Well, shout out to Fayetteville in general, but I think just the importance of Fayetteville wouldn't be as big as it is if it wasn't for Fayetteville State.
Yeah.
So I mean, I definitely love my HBCU. Graduated, went 4 or 5 years, you know, saying mine took a semester off.
You know what? Mind your business, you came out, right?
Yeah.
So. It took me a minute at ECU too. But, so you do art of, it's not just like canvas art, it's not just pictures, you have a clothing line as well, right?
Yeah, so my art's a little different because I do creative direction.
Okay.
I started off young at a young age just drawing and painting and stuff like that. And then I moved into like photography, graphic design, videos, like just the whole digital world. And what I moved into currently, or like what I do every day, is just helping people, you know, formulate their identity, help people market, and you know, build their story. So most of it has to do with everything that, you know, I still do is in the digital world, but it's more creative direction. Creative direction just in curating itself. So, you know, putting this thing together so that, you know, it is what it is. You could tell the story and you can connect with people. So for the clothing brand, I creative direct. Shout out to Wise Mind, all my people. Shout out to Jose. Shout out to Ash. You know, those people trusted in me to creative direct, you know, this clothing brand. And since they trusted in me, it seems more like a family. You know, it's not just creative direction. And they let me call shots as well. So I mean, yeah, like I got the brand on now. Where's it at? Like, you know, I'm always gonna rep.
So people pay you to boss them around?
In a way, I mean, I can get a little.
Cumulus, you know. Open up that position stat because I need to be able to boss people.
Thanks.
So, like, how long have you been in the creative direction biz?
I've been creative directing probably last six years. Okay. I started off at the Arts Council. I was already creative director before working at the Arts Council, but I went on to the Arts Council, the nonprofit of Fayetteville for the arts and culture. I became their creative manager. Okay. So in the sense, it's pretty much the same thing, but it's not a director's position, but you oversee the design, the graphics, anything creative that they put out. You know, it's you tie in with PR, marketing, stuff like that. So that was one of my official like big positions in Fayetteville and stuff like that. But as far as like creative direction, I've probably been doing that for like 6 years.
Okay. So do you like that more than basically creatively directing yourself?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think being an artist itself is like, that's pure. You know, you don't have to worry about nobody. You just, whatever you want to put out, boom, you do it. You don't have to worry about anything. But where the direction part comes in is like, now you're taking in input from others. If I was to creative direct something for you, it would be like, all right, so what do you already have going on, so I can help explain that and display that the best way possible.
And I would respond with not a damn thing.
And I'd be like,
bet. So there's this blank canvas.
and I'd be like, yo, we could use that blank canvas and say that, I don't know, right now. But we could turn that into something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We could form a story around why you chose to display nothing.
Absolutely.
But I think that's the hardest part about creative direction is, you know, being not only an artist, but, you know, trying to take someone else's story and explain that the best way possible and make it look good, you know, so.
So there is this picture. I gotta plug Art Gallery of Hope because we're coming up in May and I'm starting to plan all that. So I hope that you participate again this year. But there was this one picture that you took, and it was a child or a person in the middle of the road, and all the colors were like so vibrant and just beautiful. What goes your mind or through your mind when you're creating things?
Really the story. You know, like if I take a photo, I'm probably trying to look at like, all right, what would someone get from this photo? Or myself, if it's personal, what would I get? What do I get from this photo? One, I love color. I have to say a big shout out to my boy Adolfo Suarez on Instagram as Damn Dog. Like, man, he has taught me so much in the photo game. I've always been a photographer, but when I linked up with Dolph, that's like a little brother to me, but he's taught me so much in photo and video that is like, you can tell a story not only with a dope shot, but with like these colors. Like, you know, if warm means happy and blue means cold, what if we mix the two and just, I don't know, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I'm feeling so indifferent. So you also mentioned that you did some work with the Arts Council. Now you're doing your own, but you have a gallery coming up?
Yeah, so I got an exhibition coming up with the Arts Council, which is funny because although like I used to work there, even when I'm telling the artists, they're like, yo, you used to work here? Like, you know, like how did you get this? It's just I had the opportunity. They put a call out for curators, and I had the opportunity to curate something. And I want to say that's probably I learned a lot there, just watching other curators come in the show and stuff like that. Like Dwight, everyone from Ellington White, man, Dwight, that's my guy, man. And although he usually does the Black History Month show, so for me to be able to do it is nothing that I can't say that I didn't learn from Dwight. And seeing him put on these African American art shows, you know, subject for Black History Month, and everything that I learned, you know, is a piece of everything that I've seen from a curator standpoint. Going to these different shows, hanging out with Carlos. Shout out to Gallery 13.
Oh, Carlos, he's so dope too. I'll tell you, I feel like everybody is so crazy dope in the art game, and it's like as we increase more as a population that likes visual arts, it's like the circle's so small though. Because you're running into the same people. Last week we had Art Life Drew, who's another of my homies. Like, it's just, y'all are so tight-knit. Yeah. And here I am with my Crayola paintings. Like, here you go, put this up. So what is the exhibit that you're doing?
So Art People is the show that is going to be on January 26th.
Okay.
And it's going to run through March 2nd.
Okay.
So Art People is the Black influence on contemporary culture. So contemporary culture is everything that's happening right now.
Okay.
And so I got a focus on pop art because I wanted the show to be forward looking. I didn't want to like a lot of traditional things. I wanted something that is like what you see today with all the experimental things, whether it be mixed media or people going crazy with different colors, people practicing these different like overlays with photography. It's just, I'm trying to do something different,
Yeah.
you know? Because a lot of times when we think about Black history, we think about like the old traditional, like you might be showing picture of like maybe like a real dramatic picture of like slavery or someone picking cotton or something like that. And a lot of art does pay homage to that, but that's something I didn't want to focus on this go. I want to show like, yo, this is what Black people have done that the whole world is influenced by. Whether it be music, it could be food, you know, we could go on and on, but Black people have influenced everything that we experience, especially in pop culture, because Black people make what's popular right now. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to target with this show. We have over 50 artists with
Shout out
70
to Lauren
plus.
Falls.
Yeah, Lauren. She got some dope pieces in there, and just the whole like collection is gonna be something that's colorful, overwhelming when you come in. It's not like you'll see everything eye level. I got pieces hanging from the ceiling. I got pieces on the wall, like, you know, 8-9 feet up. So it's definitely something different that I don't think the Arts Council has done, and maybe something we haven't really seen in the Ville too often.
So, what is next for you in the Ville? I know you're already thinking ahead, or you're just right now in the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think ahead, but I try to tell people I live in the moment. If I wasn't thinking ahead, then I'd be stagnant. But I really want to create a space, just like Gallery 13, and work with like Gallery 13 with Carlos to create like extension of that, where it's just a creative space. So when you come to the space, it's like maybe you can do art there. Maybe you can set up like your podcast or whatever. I just want to create a space where I can work out of as well. Right now, I travel a lot, so I go to a lot of places doing these different things. But I'm trying to create a space where, you know, you could just set up and or maybe collab with someone to go into a joint space where, you know, you can just go in there and create. You know, like you might just be in there, paint me everywhere on the wall. I might throw a canvas down to let you go in there and go crazy, but. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like what's that looking like, you know, especially in the Ville, because like you said, we are there's not a lot of artists, but everybody here is so good, and it's such a high concentration of the few folks that we do have. I think that, you know, if we get a space or we can work together and, you know, not really combat or feel like it's just so tight knit, then, you know, we could have a collaboration of cool stuff.
Collaboration and not competition, like
Exactly.
that. So you guys, if you're hanging around town, which you should be because there's plenty to do, make sure to go out to the Arts Council on Hay Street to check out our people. Thank you. We'll see you out there.
Thank you.
Hey, welcome back to Nuthin To Do, the podcast. I'm your girl Dominique. And just to blow through this really quick, everybody is always saying that, of course, there's nothing to do. But we do have a lot of actors, and we've got a lot of comedians, and we've got some of them who actually even write their own stuff. So today joining me in the studio, shared studios to be exact, is Ace Brown.
Yeah.
What's going on?
What's going on? This is my mom, Nanette Buchanan, author, as well as
Number one fan.
yeah, well, number two now.
Number two,
Number
okay.
two behind the wife. Behind the wife, that's number one. Look, she's like, this is a battle. But yeah, she writes books as well. So we always like work as a team when it comes to putting stuff on stage.
Cool. So I list a couple of things, but what is it that you do entirely?
Well, first off, I always tell everyone that I am a father first, and a father husband first, and then after that, stand-up comedy, writer, actor, director, and producer.
So who were some of your influences with the comedy and writing?
Ooh, for comedy, I would say Martin Lawrence was the first person that I was like, all right, I'll get into comedy because I saw him doing it, and I thought to myself, I said, you know what, watching Def Comedy Jam, one thing I will give my parents, they allowed me to, with their eye on it, they would let me watch BET Comedy View and Def Comedy Jam. Comedy View came a little bit later, but Def Comedy Jam, they would watch it. Didn't really understand what the jokes were, but I did, I was able to be able to watch it, and from there, I was already acting. I started acting at 9.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted to get into it, but Martin was the first person that I was like, yo, I like this dude. This dude is funny.
Hear me out. I've already said this many times. Brian, the producer, is on the back end. We have a Martin themed party where everybody dress up as your favorite Martin character. I'm gonna be Gina with her head in the headboard, and y'all can take all the other.
You know what? It's funny because I don't really have a favorite Martin character.
Not even Jerome.
Nah, if I had to pick one, it would be Otis. If I had to pick one, it would be Otis. That was my dude. Either him or Bob.
Okay, all right.
Bob I was cool with too. But I would do it in school. I would do especially when Martin came on Thursdays. That Friday, it was, yo, Ace, do that scene, do this scene, do that scene. And then that transferred into college where a lot of the, students be like, yo, hold up, you gotta see Ace do it. And I would just reenact the entire scene. I do it verbatim. It was crazy.
So can we redo the funeral scene with Martin's mama? Like you could have this whole
Which
area.
one? With the bird?
With the bird. We can put this whole area out.
That's the one. I know.
Brian's not gonna be as quiet.
No, now the one that scene there, that's one of the that was a good scene too. When she went to sliding all over. That's my bird, Gina. She was like, I bring you here, Bob. But I like the court scene. The court scene was probably one of my favorites.
Your favorite?
When he goes to court and
with Tommy.
Yeah, with GTD and that's my joint right there. Yeah.
So you mentioned school also playing a big influence on, I guess, your performance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not originally from Fayetteville, where you from?
I'm from Newark, New Jersey.
Okay. And you moved down here when?
I got down here 2019. Okay. Yeah, my mom got down here. You got down here with too?
2018.
Yeah.
2018?
Yeah.
Okay, Mama, what made you want to come down here?
My daughter
Okay.
lived down here, and we would travel down here to be the babysitters when they would go on vacation.
Okay.
So in retiring from my job, we decided that, okay, where would we like to actually live?
Okay.
And we decided because we spent most of the time with his children, from little ones all the way up. But we wanted to spend some of the end time with her children.
Gotcha.
So we figured, okay, we'll come down in 2018 and, retirement. But it's not really retirement when you retire to what you love and what what you do. So I've been writing published since 2007.
Okay.
So now I get a chance to do what I like all the time. So I write all the time.
So what was the last piece that you published? Or
The last piece that I published is actually a children's story.
Okay.
It's Growing Up ABCs.
Okay.
And in Growing Up ABCs, we all know about that ABC book that eventually becomes a Frisbee in the house.
Yes, yeah.
Because nobody's reading it.
I think I have a nick from my godson.
Yeah, because the kids already know their alphabet by then. They already know the little pictures by then. Well, in this particular book, what I decided to do was extend it. I want them to be able to pick it up when they're in the 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, because the words are not your basic words.
Okay.
So you got A is apple, A is for ants, A is for, whatever the little word is for the letter.
Okay.
And then the next page for A says, you are amazing. You are awesome. So now you get an idea for a mantra that the children can pick on. But then it doesn't stop there. On that same page, it says you can become an astronaut. You can become an astronomer. So the little baby that learned about A is for apple, now in the 2nd or 3rd grade, he knows what an astronaut is, but does he know how to spell it? Does he know what it looks like? So it becomes a learning tool for not only the children, but in the library or in schools. And it becomes something that they can grasp. So I'd rather not write just a regular children's book that, hey, we like the characters and we like this. Give them something that they can feed off of, because that's what we do
And
when we
they
read
go back
books.
and read it again.
And the crazy thing about it, listening to you, is, so I taught elementary art last year, but I noticed that a lot of students couldn't really communicate. And when you give them something to think about, the more they can communicate. A lot of our kids are behind on speech.
Right.
So that's actually pretty dope, and we're gonna get our hands on that very soon. So you've got an event coming up.
Yes.
Okay, tell us a little about it.
I have a stage play titled Friend of Me. This is my first stage play that I have written and directed. I've been in several stage plays before, but just on the acting side. Never been on the behind the scenes, and I vowed to myself that I wasn't going to be in this one. I vowed to myself. But what had happened was people don't show up, people don't come to rehearsal, and eventually what has to happen is, hey, you gotta go. You gotta go. So I wound up being one of the lead roles to the play. But my castmates, shout out to my castmates, who I'll get into that a little bit later on, but my castmates was one of the first people. He was like, yo, you're new to the area. How about you introduce yourself by being the lead? And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. So we have two shows, a 2 p.m. and a 7 p.m. So it started off with me saying, well, you know what? I'll just do the 7 p.m. I won't do the 2 p.m. I'll let the other person do the 2 p.m. I'll do the 7 p.m. But then when he kept not coming and it was just, hey, I can't make it, so on and so forth, I was like, you know what? Can't do that. So now I'm doing both.
Okay. So, Mom, do you act too?
No, I write.
You write?
I write, I edit. He generally writes the script, or he throws an idea up in the air. I catch it, add a little bit to it, throw it back to him, and we go back and forth. And with Friend of Me, it was so funny because I was like, what is Friend of Me? Like just looking at it, and him being a comedian, I'm looking for the joke in it.
Yes.
There's got to be a joke in that somewhere. And then he said, no, that's a friend that you don't know whether or not they're going to be your friend or if they're your enemy. So it's a friend of me. And I was like, okay. If that's what you want to call it. But then as I read the script and thought about it, you're absolutely right that we run into more frenemies than we do actual friends.
And I call a lot of people, instead of calling them friends, now, everybody's my best friend, my love, my brother, my sister, but I do have a lot of bar associates. And when I started dropping that name from working in the bar industry, they're a bar associate. I started to offend a lot of people. So I'm just like, that's cool, I'll just call everybody baby.
Yeah, and
baby, sorry.
And the reason being is because of that is, like you said, you saw a separation between those that were really your friends and then those, like you said, that were just bar associates. So the same thing with Friend of Me. The character Ashley, who's played by a young lady named Callie, she goes through life just thinking everybody, hey, I'm cool with everybody, so she has her crew that she hangs with, and then she starts a new job and meets this new friend, and everything seems fine to her, but the tell is this your friend or is this really your enemy? And a lot of the friends, you sometimes have friends that don't want you to have other friends. It's not because that friend is not good for you, but they don't want you to have other friends, like the old, 5-year-old thing. You can only have one best friend.
Yeah.
So it has a little bit of that in there, and at the end, the crowd see who's really the friend of me.
Gotcha.
Is it the co-worker or is it really the crew you've been hanging with?
So where is Friend of Me going to be performed at?
It's going to be at New Life Bible Church, which is on Hoke Loop Road, Saturday, February 3rd.
Okay.
And then, like I said, we have 2 shows, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m.
So you gave the people what they can expect, but do you feel like there is more of a need of the smaller scale theater in town?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. I think, especially around here, being here for the little bit of time that I've been here, I'm not used to seeing this get the type of let me say this. Not so much the type of the attention, because it's all about the work that I put in. I could have kept it to myself and said, all right, whoever come. Yeah. but I haven't seen outside of Cape Fear Theater and Gilbert Theater. I haven't seen someone put on, and especially, and I'm just being honest, for the black community, we are so prone on Tubi right now that everybody's like Tubi. You gotta do something on Tubi. We gotta do something on Tubi. You gotta put this on Tubi. And I'm like, all right, we put out a lot of movies, but none of it is showing the essence of the art. So in this cast, I have 3 people that have never acted before.
Okay.
And to take them from acting, and now I have actually 2 out of the 3 definitely said they want to continue acting.
Nice.
But those 2, I told them, I said, theater is where you find the origin of acting. To be able to learn lines and learn blocking, and there is no cut. There is no, I messed up, we can edit that out.
Nope.
No. Whatever happens, it happens. It makes your muscle memory really own in on learning the script, learning your character, and becoming your character. So in our rehearsal, once I say rehearsal start, we don't call each other by names no more unless we talking about your character name.
Okay.
And it's not until I say, all right, rehearsal's over, then we go back to, hey, Ace, hey, so, you know, other than that, while we in there, if somebody going to the bathroom, we're like, where did Max go? Oh, Max went to the bathroom. Where did Lizzie go? Oh, Lizzie went outside. You know, we refer to everybody so that way you can get into the habit of, that's your name.
Okay.
Get into that character, learn who that character is. So sometimes, like I told my mom, yesterday we had a nice little rehearsal where people had to decompress. Like, this character is becoming alive. And it's like, yeah, you got to learn it. You got to get into it. So I think it is missing for this area. I think it's definitely needed. But I understand that it may be something new, or it may be a little bit out of the norm. So everyone, especially in the black community, we're not comfortable doing it.
Yeah, there's so many stigmas of any artistic child in the black community. Like,
Right.
but like back in my day, I used to watch a lot of anime.
Mm-hmm.
And well, they tried to bully me. They know they couldn't. But you know, like now it's the norm for kids to watch anime. So I'm hoping that the theater bug catches on. A lot of the public speaking and things like that with our kids, because they need something.
Exactly. And on top of that, them being not afraid to, like you said, embrace that they're different. You know, everybody's not cut for it, but acting is one of those things that I feel as though everyone can do. If they really do it, everyone can do it. Everyone can, you know, become something else, or imagine that there's something else. Because we all pretend to want to do something that sometimes we don't want to do. You know, kids, if you ask the average kid, you say, you want to go to school tomorrow? No. All right, well, you better pretend like you do and go there. You know, so if you can pretend like you want to do it, then we can give you a character name, and we can say, hey, act like this, or, you know, let's study this, or, you know, what do you see when you see this person doing it? Can you imitate it? And things of that nature. And I think that would be good. It'd be real good.
Mom, I was just thinking about something. I'm a little ADD, so my conversation's in my head from all over the place. I do know of a couple of artists around town that has been speaking about writing their own children's books, illustrating children's books. Do you have any workshops? Do you have anything up and coming in Fayetteville?
We're setting up our school.
Nice.
We're looking to open a school that would encompass not only the writing skills, but the acting skills, the improv skills, giving them another outlet rather than saying you can be the football player or the basketball. Everybody can't play ball. No. Everybody can't be in sports. Everybody doesn't have the academics to be just a scholar. Sometimes you have to use that sideline thing that you do, that you like to do, the imitations that you do in the mirror, you know, the things that you write in your journal, the things that you write. You want to learn how to do it. So we're looking at developing, and we've been talking about it for years. It's been years that Aaron and I have, Ace and I.
Y'all didn't hear that. That's not his government.
Yeah, that's not his name. Ace and I have been talking about it for years, that we needed to get something together. And it really, really is as people say, you never know where your future is going. You know, I wrote as a child and didn't know that I was implementing and writing, and because I was doing it just as fun. The children's stories that I wrote were just for fun. Never something that I thought about publishing or anything. And that's why it happened so late in life, because no one pushed me. So we're looking to push your talent. We want to push it at a young age. We want you to sit in it and feel good about it, or push it in your older age. You know, when you're no longer pushing that job because you don't have to put kids in school or anything else. Now you can relax a little, but you want to write a little, or you want to act a little. So we want to do that. And in opening the school, my daughter passed away a year plus ago, and we decided to name the school after her. So it will be her nickname that everyone called her in her motorcycle club, Bittersweets. And we wanted to be Bittersweets Theatrical School of the Arts. So we want to do that. And in that school, there's workshops. Now, prior to that, because you know that takes time to build and everything else, we are collaborating. And we're collaborating with a group where I will be doing online classes as well as classes at their facility, which is the same facility where we're having the play. So I'll be doing classes there for new authors or writers. I call it pen to pad. You know, because it doesn't matter. You don't know where it's going to go. You know, you don't know when that you might be producing the next best thing. You don't know. So we want to do that, and we want to take some of my novels, just like he wrote the scripts, I write the novels, and he turns it into script. So we want to do some of the books that I've already done into novels, and then do some more creations. But yes, children writers, adult writers, teen writers, anybody that is looking at, you know, the possibility. The possibilities are endless, because even with your writing skill, you don't have to be somebody that publishes a novel. You could be somebody that writes grants. You could be somebody that writes lesson plans. You can be somebody that writes, there's so much in that area, but you gotta know that that's an avenue. You know, if you don't know the street, you don't know that you could drive on it. You know?
Like mine was like most talkative on all of my report cards. Now look at me.
Look at that. There you go.
I'm a radio host,
and
I got a podcast.
I got the same thing.
And that's the same thing with him. Like he said, he started, and people ask me that all the time. Like, you know, okay, this is what he's done. Was he like that as a kid? Are you kidding me?
That's what I got.
Used to have
everything was most talkative.
Yes, we used to have to put him out of the room. Like, it's time to go to bed. No, it's not. It's just 6. Well, you're going to bed early. You know, because it was his nature. It was just in his nature. And the thing is that sometimes we don't follow that, you know, it's given to you. It's a purpose. And you don't follow it. And then you don't understand, well, how does it connect to anything else? The purpose is given to you for you to make a connection. So the connection we feel, I'm retired, I write, this is what he does. Let's put that into the community. And how many people can we get started with their connection early, rather than waiting until later, after they've made so many, like you said, going to school for this and going to school for that, and you don't feel comfortable in it because it's not your purpose, you know? So let's find out if some of these kids have acting skills, if some of them have writing skills. Let's find out about the kid that doesn't speak in class because he puts it all on paper. You know, there's different ways to get these kids to be acclimated to their talent.
Right.
And that's what we're looking to do.
So let's turn purpose into paper. I know that's not what she actually meant, but that's what we're going with. So I want to say thank you guys for coming to the show.
No problem.
February 3rd, we'll put the flyer up for you guys, and hang tight. Got a little bit more on Nuthin To Do. All right, so I know the podcast is called Nuthin To Do, and in the last couple of episodes, what we've been doing is shining a light towards the end on specific people doing certain things in the community. Of course, that's what we want, right? We want to be current. But there are some people who've done some dope things, like last week. And for instance, I couldn't even get them on the show because I already had mine scheduled. And I just want to shine a light on people doing things around the community, because those people deserve an attaboy, a pat on the back, whatever you want to call it. They deserve it because they're doing dope shit. So, for instance, let's talk about Monica. Monica Bowens is not only one of the best person in the world, But she has a book that she was a co-author on, and she had a book signing last weekend and a birthday last weekend. It's about mentorship, and just basically gathering all of your things, like my head, all these different thoughts in here. I could gather them and put them together so we could prosper all in our own lane. And also another dope person, David Goddard. He's a photographer, graduated from Jack Britt High School, also featured in Elle Fashion magazine. Granted, he left us to go to New York, and that's cool. J. Cole left us too, but we still give him praise. So let's go ahead and pat those two on the back for everything that they do to shine a light on Fayetteville as a community. And, whether it's our faces, our mental health, or maybe a book or two, like the mother-son duo that we had on earlier. Let's just continue to shine the light on them. So, coming up is all the things to do in this Nuthin To Do town. It's Dominique. Thank you for hanging out again. It's Nuthin To Do.
Thanks for tuning in to the Nuthin To Do weekly podcast, recorded at the Share Studios in Fayetteville, North Carolina, with your host, Dominique. And make sure to tune in next week because it's only going to get better.